The air is as clear with all the African dust in it now. You can't see through it. They have made matters worse by their clear the air statements. Santia Bradshaw is a minister of government. Her ministry deals with that person. I don't. I think I sent you your WhatsApp a picture of what the principals in this company sitting at a meeting in St. Andrew talking about the roads and stuff.
Yes, I think Dave would have a copy of that picture that I'm
Right?
gonna ask him via WhatsApp to show us.
Right?
Right? Yeah.
Good. So we know that he consults with the government, and it is ongoing work in the government because the Scotland district isn't fixed. So there will be contracts coming up. If they're non-active now, or he's done his work before, and some of the work that he's done, or that $7,500 might be just part of the money that he could receive, and he's giving it back. But that is wrong. The person receiving and the person giving have both committed offenses. Right? They want to say that it is not an offense yet because the Integrity in Public Life bill has not been proclaimed. But you cannot rely on that defense to absolve yourself or anybody else from doing anything because this government, this administration, put that legislation in place to fix what they see as a problem. They believe it was a problem. You only pass legislation to put penalties on people when there is a problem that you want to fix, that you think that something is wrong and you want to punish it. There is a penalty settled in the legislation for receiving gifts over 2,500 without reporting them, without and stuff. Okay, so they put that legislation in place, knowing full well that this is a problem that we are saying because there was also other complaints, and they were campaigning on it, talking about corruption, and the Dems were taking bribes and all kinds of stuff. So they were saying, look, we ain't gonna do that. Our hands are clean, and we can put legislation in place. Thank you for putting up this thing. It says here, report on gifts. This is the section 23 of the Integrity in Public Life Act. A person in public life, other than a member or senior officer of the commission, who receives a gift worth more than $2,500, or whose spouse or child receives such a gift, shall make a report of that fact to the commission in the form settled in the third schedule, in form 4 settled in the third schedule, and shall state in the report the name and the address of the donor, B, the description and approximate value of the gift, and whether independent of the recipient, the gift is a personal gift or an official gift. Now go on to section 24. Section 24 says offenses in respect of gifts. It says a specified person in public life who, A, without reasonable excuse, fails to comply with section 23(1) or 2, as the case may be, or make a false report. Go up some more. Go up some more. It says that person is guilty of an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine which shall not be more than 3 times the value of the gift involved in the commission of the offense, or to imprisonment for 6 months, or to both. So what she did, participated in a debate and passed and voted for legislation that say what she would have just done is a criminal offense. Right? It should be a criminal offense, and it should be punishable by 6 months in jail, or you're going to pay 3 times the amount of money you receive, or both. Now that didn't go in there just because there was not a problem. That went in there because they perceive it was a problem and they want to put something in there to punish it if it happens. Now the first person since this legislation was passed that is caught by these provisions is now one of the proponents of it. It's people who get there and keep most noise about integrity and public life and what the dams were doing and everything else. So they cannot fall back on an excuse that they proclaim, because if it is not proclaimed, right, and effective, it is worse yet. It is worse for you, because what will then be in place is the Prevention of Corruption Act. It's a 1929 piece of legislation. It's chapter 144 of the laws of Barbados. And section 7 says, where in any proceedings against a person for an offense under this act, it is proved that any money, gift, or other consideration has been paid or given to or received by a person in the employment of the Crown, well, in this case the state, because you know change everything in the state, or any government department or a public body by or from a person or agent of a person holding or seeking to obtain a contract from the Crown, from the state, or any government department or public body, the money, gift, or consideration shall, for the purpose of this act, be deemed to have been paid or given and received corruptly as inducements or rewards, unless the contrary is proved. Now we now know that this person contracts with the government. He contracts with Sanita's ministry. Now if he is giving her money, or this company is giving her money, it doesn't pass the smell test. I'm using Sanita's words. It doesn't pass the smell test because he now will have an inside track when contracts are coming up, because he's giving money. He's giving money and he is writing the check to Sanita Bradshaw. Now, if it was for the branch to give food hampers, it should have been made payable to the branch. Every Barbados Labour Party branch in Barbados has a bank account. You don't got to put it in the minister's account because the branch ain't got none. I know this because I was a member of the Barbados Labour Party. I was an assistant secretary of the Barbados Labour Party. I was a vice president of a branch in the Barbados Labour Party. So I know all these things. And I was also a personal assistant to the Attorney General, who was a constituency representative. And we also gave hampers at Christmas. And I was the person who used to coordinate the hamper project. And yes, we asked for donations, and we raised funds however we could, and we asked for donations. However, I remember one instance when we asked for a donation, the person wrote a check to the MP, and he said, "No, guys, send it back. I ain't want my name for nothing. Let him make it payable to St. Thomas branch." That MP, David Simmons, and he was a lawyer, or he is a lawyer. Sanita is a lawyer, or so they tell me. Now, if he knows that, she should know it too. They want different laws. And what is funny, if it was a campaign, it was a donation for her Christmas hamper drive, the fellow stole that check on the 19th, 18th or the 19th of December. The hampers would have been out and bought already. So what the check doing in the office? So that's what I'm telling you, it does not pass the smell test. That money should have been spent. It was given to buy hampers $7,500. So you know how many people $7,500 could buy things for? But it was still in her office on the 19th when the fellow went in and see it was loitering and decided, well, nobody using it, so he can use it for her. He went in and got it. I know how we did it. You never be rushing about the day or so before Christmas giving people hampers. The hampers were given out a week or so, a week and a half before Christmas. So you're going to have a situation where you have a check. The bank going to say the check got to hold it for 3 days, unless it's the credit, or 5 days, and the credit union is a week. So that money will not be able to spend on any hampers for Christmas, unless you're talking about Christmas 2024. That is an explanation that does not stand up. It does not, as again using her thing, pass the smell test. I do not believe it, because it does not make sense. And let me go now on to what people don't want me to talk about, but I can talk about it. Under the Prevention of Corruption Act, the 1929 piece of legislation, Darville Innes only got convicted in the United States because they deemed that he committed an offense under that act. Otherwise, he would not have committed an offense, because the money was deemed to be a bribe. And having been a bribe, he collected money from a criminal enterprise, according to the Americans, and having taken money from a criminal enterprise and transported it over the border to the United States, that made it a crime also in the United States. So this piece of legislation was used, the same legislation that we will fall back on, since they're saying that the Integrity of Public Life Bill has not been enforced. So the one that is enforced right now is the Prevention of Corruption Act, and that has and I think the punishment is 2 years. And this one that they're saying is not in place is only 6 months. So she is now making herself liable for according to the legislation, a 2-year stint. My problem with these people and the nation and everybody else, they think they have to come to her defense. No, they don't have to come to her defense. They should investigate, because I've not seen a worse piece of journalism than the one I see on the back page of today's Saturday Sun. You know, normally when a person is proud of their work, you see their byline at the top of it. Who is the byline? Who wrote this story for Sanita? This was a PR piece. This is not news, because they didn't go into it in any in-depth way to see if what she is saying makes sense. I'm not even going to say it's true. What if it makes sense? And then, like Judge Judy said, if it doesn't make sense, it ain't true. They say that to Judge Judy very often, so what Judge Judy a lot. And she says, if it does not make sense, it is not true. And what she is saying does not make sense. And also, what she has done says that other people get donations. So who are the other MPs who receive these contributions / bribes until proven otherwise? We would like to know. Is that why we can't put the Integrity in Public Life Act in place? Because it's been there long enough. It's been passed and they were rushing. They were trying to get the senators and try to frighten them or whatever to pass the act. And now we are seeing that if the act were in place, the Deputy Prime Minister, no less a person, would be facing charges, would have been the first person to face charges under that act. She cannot. receive money in her name other than her salary, or if it is from some family member or someone who gives you money or something, she cannot legally receive money in Barbados from people who do business with the government of Barbados. It does not look good. It does not smell good. It does not, according to the policy, smell test. You have to come with clean hands. Your hands must be clean. You got to say, well, look, you can't hold me on that. Like I said to you when they send the money, wrote it to David Simmons. She said, no, not me. Pay it to Bullard. Bullard was the treasurer of the St. Thomas branch. She's now dead. He said, no, pay it to Bullard. I don't want, no, don't give it to me. I don't want my name on that check. And it was because the checks were, as a matter of fact, what Bullard did, I used to get like these things, pay them the money into the branch, and he would then, I would go to Al Seal or whoever, and I would buy things, and he would then write a check for Al Seal so that we can have like a trail, a paper trail of this money. The business should know better. If they want to give money to charities, give money to charities. The Salvation Army want money all the time. But you know why they don't get the Salvation Army? Because the Salvation Army don't give up contracts to fix roads and do engineering work. I know people who give up charity work, do charity work. They don't come and burden them with a lot of money. No, so the company coming out and saying these things don't make it true. It just means that they get caught. Because, and they wrote S. Bradshaw. She named Sanita on the check. You know? So, they appear to know that they were doing something wrong. And I believe that they would want to keep the $7,500, you know, but they are feathering their nests for the next round of contracts coming from the Ministry of Public Works or other government departments who will be giving out contracts for engineering services. That is why I believe from Richie Haynes' time, Richie Haynes was talking about the need for a contractor general who would deal with the contracts and keep the politicians away from them, because politicians have a way of breaking the law to benefit themselves and their friends, and they're not liable for any punishment because the police don't ain't going to investigate them. The DPP is not going to investigate them. The electoral office, the office don't investigate them for corruption in the election system. Everything is going wrong in Barbados. And I tell you, everything that is going wrong in Barbados has a political connection to it. If we got rid of a lot of these politicians, Barbados would be a much better place to live and work. So tell Miss Bradshaw for me, her explanation does not make sense. Don't mind the headline screams above board, it is not. Or her explanation does not make it look to be above board. But anybody who is aware or familiar with the way things should be done, she should not receive a single cent from anybody. The government is giving you money, and they also give you money to help with these things in the constituency. Use that. Use your own resources. Raise funds. But what most of these politicians have done is to then try to circumvent the law by talking about they have a charity. No, you're not supposed to have no charity, because what those charities are doing, those charities are collecting money and paying them out and saying, oh, it is not the politician that is spending money, it's a charity that they have. Prime Minister has one. And these charities spend money during the elections, pay for election expenses, and they don't declare. Mind you, the charities can't be involved in the election spending, but they do. So this is just a way to find a back door a backhand method of getting their hands on money without having to account for it. And then people pay into the charity. But this one, this something is wrong here. Even though she has a charity, why she ain't telling pay to the charity then? Something is wrong. There is too much swirling around here, and when you see them rush out and make these statements, the people have been complaining about their behavior all along for years. And how many times you see them rush out and make these statements?
Is Caswell stuck, Kimar, or am I the person stuck?
Well, it seems to be Caswell.
Yes, okay, because we are talking here, right? I think he.
I lost you for a little bit there.
Yes, we
So, can
lost
you
you
still
for
hear me
a
now?
moment. Yes, we're hearing you now. Yeah, so we are 10. It's 10:02.
Have you hear
So
me?
yes, 10:02. So we're
Okay,
gonna
because
close off now. Let's
yes.
close off.
Okay, well, at least it's happening at the end. So what I want to say to Miss Bradshaw, Miss Bradshaw, you have been put in the balance and found wanting. Your actions and your explanations don't cut it. You need to separate yourself from the office of Deputy Prime Minister, or the Prime Minister should separate it from you. You should separate yourself from Parliament, because this type of behavior will not be tolerated in any civilized democracy. But it might survive in Barbados because we are not a real democracy. We are a banana republic pretending to be a democracy. But if you want to, if the Prime Minister rather wants to show that she is above, her government is above reproach, she has to deal with this. This is not something to leave to Santia's discretion whether she will go or not. She should go. She must go. This is corruption, as far as I can see.